Hey, MiniWargamer Mike here, and today I'm going to introduce you to wet blending. Wet blending is a technique where you create a smooth transition between two different paint colors by blending them together while they're still wet. For my sample model today, I'm going to use this unit. This is a cavalry unit from my Horde's army, the Legion of Everblight. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint a transition from dark brown to light brown on the fur here. We're going to use some Reaper paint today. I'm going to go from muddy brown through to earth brown, leather brown, and then tanned leather as well. And if I think I need to lighten up a little bit more, I have amber gold on standby. It's just the next color shade in this series. We may not need all 5. You don't need anything special to do wet blending. You can just apply basically a thick coat of paint and then brush it together before it dries. But to make things a little bit easier, I'm going to be using drying retarder. Drying retarder is an additive you add to the paint, and it basically just extends how long it takes to dry. Normally when you put acrylic paint onto a model, you only have a few seconds really while the paint is still wet, unless you put it on really, really thick. The drying retarder actually gives you several minutes to work with the paint before it really dries up, so it just makes this technique a whole lot easier. We're also going to be using 2 brushes today. They're both the same size, but I'm going to use one for applying the paint. The other one I'm going to keep dry and keep nearby, and we're going to use it simply for feathering the 2 colors together. Also, we're going to use an old blister pack here just for mixing the paint with the drying retarder in. So we're going to start by just mixing our darkest color, muddy brown, with a little bit of drying retarder. You don't need very much. Basically, we can do a 1 drop to 1 drop ratio here. The more drying retarder you add to the paint, the longer it'll take to dry. Don't add drying retarder to ink. It actually prevents it from drying completely. I tried doing an ink wash using some drying retarder, and a week later, it was still wet to the touch. You'd probably never want that on a model. Okay, so we have our muddy brown ready to go, and I'm just going to start by applying that to the top area. And you can see I'm putting it on really heavy. This doesn't look like how you'd normally want a paint job to look. It's really glopped on. That's sort of necessary for doing this wet blend technique. And put the model down for a second, clean our brush, and get their second color ready. So here we have the earth brown. And same thing, just a little bit of drying retarder in with the paint. Now again, you don't need drying retarder to do this. You can just put the paint on heavy. You have to work a little bit faster in that case, but it still applies. And what we're going to do is when I paint this on, I'm going to leave a little area unpainted in between them. And that's where we're going to focus our blend. Okay, so now what you'd want to do next is just pick up your clean brush and just feather the 2 paints together. And that's step 1. Now clean off both your brushes and we'll prep our next color. So I'm going with the tanned leather now. And again, just a single drop of the drying retarder to give us the extra time to work with the paint. And stir that together. And same thing, just leave a little area unpainted where we can do our blend. And then grab the other brush and just smooth the 2 together. Like so. Oh, I actually skipped a color. I meant to use the leather brown. I went straight to the tanned leather. So we'll go with the amber gold on the bottom. And just clean my blending brush off. Mix this up. And we'll paint that on the very bottom. And then we just blend. And you can see in pretty much no time at all, we have a really smooth transition from a dark brown to a light brown. Just creates a really awesome effect, and it took almost no work to do it. So we'll go ahead, I'm going to do the other side now as well. I'm actually going to do all 4 color blends simultaneously here. So we've already got our paint mix, so we can work a little bit quicker. Okay, so we've got our 4 different stripes of our wet colors. And we're just going to start brushing from the top down. I'm not even going to clean the brush. And there we've got one really quick, smooth transition through 4 different colors. Now, because we use the drying retarder, this model will take a little bit longer to dry before we can do anything else with it, but the effect is really worthwhile. And that's all there is to wet blending. And just remember, you can do this. You don't need to buy drying retarder. You could just put the paint on a little bit thicker, so it just takes longer to dry in the model. You wouldn't want to do all 4 colors like I just did simultaneously. If you did that though, you'd want to jump straight from one to the next. And that's it. Happy wargaming.